In the society, officials decide who you love, where you work, when you die. Cassia has always trusted their choices. It's hardly any price to pay for a long life, the perfect job, the ideal mate. So when her best friend appears on the matching screen, Cassia knows with complete certainty that he's the one, until she sees another face flash for an instant before the screen fades to black. Now, Cassia is faced with impossible choices, between Xander and Kai, between the only life she's known and a path no one else has ever dared follow, between perfection and passion. Hi guys, this is Jessica with Chapter Chicks, and I'm doing another book review for you today. But first, I just wanted to make kind of a small announcement. Stacy and I decided to start doing our book reviews in a different way. We are going to have a spoiler or non-spoiler section and then a spoiler section for those who have read the book. So first we're going to do a review like we always do with no spoilers at all. And that's like an actual review, not like, hey, like this is like blah blah blah. But and then we're going to post up like on a big black screen that this is the spoiler section of the review, and we're going to start talking about specific things that we liked and didn't like about the book. And Stacy saw this somewhere, so we've been really like getting kind of bored with dancing around spoilers. So we're just going to dance for the first half, and then we're actually going to just talk about the book and everything in the second half of the video. So yeah, so this is the first one I'm going to be doing that way, and it is Overmatched by Ali Condie. This was released November 30th of 2010 by Dutton Juvenile. It is the first book in the Matched series, and there are 366 pages in the U.S. hardcover. So, like I said, this just came out not too long ago, and pretty much every blogger has got this book and wanted to review it. And they all gave raving reviews. And I didn't really think that the book lived up to those reviews. It could just be because I had expected this book that was absolutely perfect, and this book was in no way perfect. It set up a really good series. Don't get me wrong, I really liked it. I think I gave it a B. Yeah, I gave it a B, but it just didn't do what I had expected it to do. And yeah, so it just didn't live up to my expectations that I had thought I was like good of the book. Kind of rambling. I really didn't like the characters in this book. I didn't connect with them. I didn't feel anything for the emotional connections that the main character, Cassie, was having. And that's not good because that's like a really huge part of a book for me. And then also, I thought the plot was kind of slow. Like a lot was happening, but I don't know, it was just, there was something kind of slow about it. But it was, I don't know, it's such a confusing book. Or it's not confusing, but it's the way you feel about it's confusing. But, I didn't really, have a favorite out of Kai and Xander. And that is, really weird for me because normally, even if I don't like them, I know which one I want her to end up with. But I think if I had to pick, I would actually prefer Xander, just because he was a much more developed character, I thought. One thing I did really love is Matched was a really well thought out novel. You can tell that Ali Condie has put so much thought into this story. She has a backstory for each character. She has a backstory for everything that happened, and and when that showed in the book, it was amazing. And those were my favorite parts. It wasn't the love scenes or the plot points. It was when the fact that the society had control over them, and it was showing ways that the history behind it and how much control they actually did have, that it really made this book really good for me. And I'm hoping that since this is just this first novel, that the second one and maybe the third one, I don't know how many there's going to be, will have way more of that in it, and this was just a setup novel, because if that's the way it's going to be, then this was a perfect first book in a series. But if it's not going to end up that way, then this was just a really good book. Not a perfect, great, wonderful, or anything like that. One thing I really liked is that I felt like reading this book kind of lets people remember that we are very lucky to be able to make our own decisions about what we want to read, what we want to watch, who we want to marry, who we want to, what kind of jobs we want to pursue, whether or not we want to pursue a job at all, and how long we can have kids for. It's just, they have no decisions for themselves in this book, and it kind of makes you appreciate the decisions that we do have. And look at this cover. It is a beautiful cover. And it looks just as pretty with the dust jacket off. But yeah, so now stop watching if you haven't read Matched, because this is going to be the spoilery kind of part, and I'll put it up in a black screen now. Okay, so like I said, this part is for people who have only read Matched. If you have not read Matched, do not watch any further. Just go get the book and read it and then watch this part, because this is kind of where I talk about specific parts that happen in the book, and I don't want to spoil you. I really, really, really don't want to spoil you. But if you keep watching, you deserve to be spoiled, because I warned you a lot. So, I'm going to talk about my favorite part of the book right now, and that was when Kai got taken away, because it showed so much, like, in depth to the society. Kai got taken away because, as you know, Cassia picked him on the sword, and he got sent away to fight. And you learn that Xander and Kai are both immune to the red pills, which erase your memory, and they have done it once before. And that's when I felt the most intrigue in the book, when Xander said that they had done it once before, but he didn't want to talk about what had happened. So, yeah, that's when I felt, like, the most, like, tension in my own, like, body when I was reading this book, because it was phenomenal, the way that was written, and the suspense behind that, and the suspense that Cassia feels, and I think it sets up, like, such a great story for Cassia, because now she has to go and find this guy that she's in love with, and the guy that's madly in love with her is helping her. And wow, that is crazy. I really didn't like Kai that much, though. I thought he was kind of, like, moody, and, like, but he didn't do it well. Like, he didn't do it, like, Stefan Salvatore is really moody, but he does it good. And I didn't think that Kai did it very well. And I really, really liked Xander, because Xander was so understanding. He was always there for Cassia. And yeah, Kai has, like, a way more dramatic story, and he's been through so much with being an aberration and having his parents killed and all those little napkin notes, and those were so cute. It just, when you think about, like, the stuff that Condie had to, like, think about to write this novel, you know that she's a phenomenal writer, I feel. And I cannot wait to read the next one and then one after that, just because I feel like Cassia's story is a great story to tell. And I just hope that you get more of an emotional development with Kai and Xander. And that's really basically all this book is about, is her falling in love with Kai and betraying Xander. And I really liked her parents. I didn't like her mom, but when Cassia said something about how that's how her mom protects them, like her dad he throws away that the tissue sample of her grandfather. That's how he protects the people he loves. But then her mother just follows the rules to protect the people that she loves, and that was just so cute. I felt like, yeah, so I really, really liked her parents, and I love the whole 100 poems and 100 songs and things like that, because it leaves so many, like, forbidden things, like the forbidden poems that Cassia finds in her compact, and the forbidden poems that you can buy at the museum, and it's so cool. I think that is such a cool concept, because I feel like if we ever were overpowered by, like, a society, then that's probably what they would do if they wanted to control us, to control our creative, independent sides. So I think that's awesome. I was also, like, that sounds kind of like what the Capitol from Hunger Games would have end up turning into, and I thought that was really cool, because I adored the Hunger Games, as you guys probably know, and the Capitol was probably one of my favorite parts of that too. So yeah, that's awesome. I'm gonna stop rambling now. If you guys haven't read this, or I guess you have because you're still watching, and if you haven't read it and you're still watching it, I'm sorry you got spoiled. But let me know what you thought of Matched. Don't post any spoilers in the comments. If you have something you want to say that's spoilery, please send it to our inbox, or you can email us at chapterchicks@gmail.com. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you didn't watch and get spoiled. I'm really nervous. Don't hate me. I'm Jessica with Chapter Chicks, and this is my review over Matched by Condie. Bye, guys.